Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to another DigiNauts video. Today we'll be looking at how to generate a Google Maps API key, which you can then use to add a map to your website. We'll be installing this key on a Divi website, which is a theme builder, but you can really use any theme with a map component. Let's get cracking. Up until recently, Google Maps was fairly open and they allowed anyone to embed a customizable map on almost any website. Google, however, changed this in 2018 when they announced that Google Maps would no longer be free and would now form part of what is called Google Cloud Platform. Google Cloud Platform, or GCP, is essentially a set of cloud computing services and includes some really cool APIs. Now, I know you freaked out when you heard me say that it was no longer free, but it technically is. Google is offering $200 credit each month when you use their cloud services. This essentially means that Google is paying for your Maps usage. Because of these changes, web developers are now forced to create an account on GCP, register the Maps API, create a key for it, and restrict that key so only you can access it. I'm now going to show you how to go about doing this. So if you look at this demo website I've created, you'll see that there's a map down here with a message that says for development purposes only. You will always see this warning when there's no API key present. And we can see this in more detail by opening Chrome DevTools by pressing F12. If you go to the console tab, you'll see an error message in red that tells you that you're using this API without a key. So what we're going to do now is jump over to Google Cloud Platform and register our account. You can use any Google account to register, just follow the various prompts until you get to your dashboard. Now that you've registered and you're on your dashboard, you need to create a GCP project. You can do this by clicking on Create Project to the right. Name your project appropriately. I'm calling mine Helio Digital as that's the site I'm working on. Leave it on no organization for now and click Create. The project creation process will run in the background, and you can also check on your status by clicking on Select Project. This process generally only takes a minute or so, and once ready should redirect you to your updated dashboard with your project information. If you open up the menu, you'll see just how many services Google actually offers as part of GCP. What we want to do is go to the API and Services section and click on Library. Search for the Maps API and select Maps JavaScript API, as this is the first API used by Divi. Once on this next page, click on Enable to activate this API on your account. This process should just take a couple of seconds, but you'll automatically be redirected to the API's dashboard. We now need to follow the same process for the geocoding API. This is the second API you'll need in order to use Maps in Divi. The next thing we need to do is set up credentials. Credentials are like a password for your API. It's a code that's unique to your project and allows you to access Google services. You can see under the Credentials tab that we don't currently have any API keys. Click on Credentials in API Services to go to the Credentials creation screen. Next, click on Create Credentials and select API Key, as this is what we'll be using for the Google Maps service. Don't worry about copying this key now, we'll grab it later. Now that the key has been created, you'll notice a warning from Google to say that your key is unrestricted. Restricting your key is super important because the API is technically a paid-for service and you don't want other people using your key. So what we want to do now is click on Edit. This will open up the key settings. Firstly, give your key an appropriate name so that you know what it's for. Next, we need to select how we want to restrict it. I'm going to select HTTP referrers, which is essentially to restrict it by a website URL. This will now open up a new section where you can add website URLs. I'm going to click on Add an Item and enter my website URL into the referrer box. You can use the same pattern they recommend to target your entire site. The last thing you want to do is restrict your key to the Maps and Geocoding API only. This prevents other APIs from being accidentally used, which reduces your risk of you having to pay for a service. We're done now. You can click on Save and you should see Google's warning disappear. Now that we've created our API key, we need to set quotas. Quotas are a way to add additional restrictions to your API key and really ensures that you don't go over the free API usage limits. I'm going to head over to my API dashboard and click on the Maps JavaScript API to view more. From the API dashboard, you want to click Quotas, and this will open up the Quotas page for the Maps API. Click on Map Loads, as we want to restrict how many times a user can load your map. At the bottom you can see the existing quotas, and already you'll notice that the map limit per day is set to unlimited, which is a big risk if you want to use maps for free. I'm going to edit each of these quotas to an appropriate number. Take the amount of traffic you might get on your website into account. I'm making mine quite low because I don't expect to receive many visitors. That's it for quotas. We can now hop over to billing to complete this setup. Because the Google Maps API is technically no longer free, they do unfortunately require you to add your payment details to your GCP account. You should never get charged if you properly restricted your keys and added sufficient quotas, so adding payment method is really just a formality. I'm going to open up the menu and click on billing. Follow the prompts if you haven't set up billing before. If you do however see your billing dashboards like I do here, then it's a sign that you're ready to finally use your key. The last thing we want to do is add our key to our website. Most theme builders will require you to use an API key and to follow the same creation process in this video for almost any website. I will be using Divi for the purposes of this video. If you're a designer and you like creating visually appealing websites, then I highly recommend that you check out Elegant Themes Divi. It's an awesome visual builder and I use it for every single site I've built. I've added my affiliate link to the description in this video if you want to check it out. I'm going to click on Enable Visual Builder to hop into the page editor. Next, I'm going to scroll down to my map, open up the maps config, and if you click on the map accordion, you'll see that my API key is currently empty. Click on Change API Key and this will take you to the WordPress backend into Divi's theme settings. I'm going to hop back into GCP to copy my API key and add it to the Google Maps API field. Save your changes, head back over to the builder and refresh your page. You should now be good to go. You can now go ahead and add pins to your map and you should see them appear on your component. Adding the Maps API key seems like a lot of work, but once you get the hang of the process, it just becomes a part of setting up a new website. Leave a comment below if you get stuck. I'm more than happy to help. Please leave a like if you found this video useful and subscribe to see more website related videos in the future. Thanks for watching and I'll see you then.